to the Coastal Distinct Podcast. Your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. It's been a great show. To shout out to all the mothers. Mother's Day done passed. When this airs, we'll be approaching Memorial Weekend, so make sure you guys be safe out there in the streets. Make sure you guys find a good party to go to, especially if you're here in Houston. Go get you some good crawfish, some good turkey neck, some good lamb chops, somewhere to celebrate Memorial Weekend and for our vets. Shout out to the vets. Also, much love to Edge Sports Counseling. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, so most of our shows for this month are going to be targeting mental health, from mental health to physical health to intellectual health to financial health. So this is, make sure that you find a cause, something that's positive and that's going to help somebody, move forward this month since it's mental health awareness. Guys, also shout out to my sponsor, 605 Adult Beverages, Red Core Universe, Call Audio. Much love to you guys. Guys, today I got a special show for you guys. Every time we have a show, I always bring like the unique individuals up here from that's in the Houston area. And I'm a person that gets out a lot, but I don't be outside.
In them streets.
Yeah, I don't be outside, you know what I'm saying? But I be out. And this sister I met, I was interested because some questions that I wanted to ask from a personal standpoint, and I think a lot of other individuals have these questions, but I guess they never had that conversation, or they felt that it was too expensive, or they didn't have the resources to reach out to individuals like that. So, everybody, welcome to the show, Miss Joy Diggs.
Thank you.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
Joy Diggs represent Dig Deep Fitness.
And nutrition.
There we go. So Joy is a personal trainer, a dietitian,
Weight loss specialist.
nutritionist,
Medication, all of that.
See, that's why I got you on the
Do
show.
a little life coaching.
Oh, everything. That's what I'm talking about. So yes. Joy, just to get started, so where are you from?
I'm from Houston, born and raised.
Shout out H-Town.
Okay.
Hold up. Shout out H-Town.
Yeah, I bounced around. I realized Houston was the best city, and I came back about 13 years ago.
Okay, where you went before? Prior.
So I was in North Carolina for college.
Okay.
Then I moved to Atlanta, went to grad school at Georgia State.
Okay.
And then to become a dietitian, I had to move to Ohio to do an internship. So I went to The Ohio University. Got to put the D on there.
That's an Akron, right?
Huh?
That's an Akron, Ohio?
No, that's in Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah, so I was up there for 8 months. It just kept getting colder and colder.
Okay.
I love the heat. I said, let me bounce back to Houston with my family and friends.
Yeah.
And came back down.
So it's crazy. Houston gets colder than most of those places on the East Coast and the Midwest.
Well, now it didn't when I was growing up.
Yeah,
I never saw snow until I went to North Carolina.
Yeah, that's true.
And now it snowed like 3 times in the past 5 years.
Yes. Actually, we had 12 inches.
Too many inches. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was too much.
12 inches. Yeah. So how do you even get started in becoming a dietitian? Like, is that something?
It's a long process.
Like, is that something you say? Well, I want to go to school to be.
Yeah. So I just knew I was into health. I've been into health since high school. So, little backstory. I grew up in my grandmother's house.
Okay. Houston, Texas.
Okay. Parents separated when I was 9. And so my mom, my brother and sister and I moved into my grandmother's house, and she did most of the cooking, but she was diabetic. And so at this point, I'm like 3rd grade, and she would always, be sticking her finger to measure her blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just kind of look, like, what's my grandma doing? I would see her taking that shot, sticking her finger. And the more I learned about like diabetes, health, and how the foods that we eat, really control how we feel and how we look in our health, it just really interested me. And so I wanted to learn more and more about it. And the more that I learned, and the more I realized, in the Black community, we have so many health problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancers, all of those. I just wanted to do what I could do for my community to help us to be healthier. And so that's what first inspired me.
So I want to stay on that because a lot of doctors say that Black people or people of color, they are, what's the word they use? It's like they're
predisposed.
Yeah, it's like they have these conditions because they're not because they're Black, but because I guess the eating habits or our blood or
It's a
whatever?
lot of different factors. So we got the genetic components.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say like the disease runs in my family,
Yeah.
it's not that the disease runs in your family, but you may be genetically predisposed. Meaning, if you put those genes in a certain environment, they're more likely to develop the disease than somebody else, right?
Okay.
And so we have some of us, a lot of us have that genetic component where because we're not eating the best, we're already more likely to get the disease. But then you combine that with the way that we eat, bam, you got diabetes, you got high blood pressure, etc.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's really not genetic. I'm gonna say it could be genetic, but you saying like being predisposed, you're still doing, I guess,
You can
all
still
the
control
okay.
your part of it.
Got you.
Right.
Okay, by the environment, by what you eat.
Right, and of course it's not 100%. You know what I'm saying? I can do everything that I can do, and still possibly become diabetic, right? But we have to get to the point where we control our part of that equation.
Got it. That's important because me recently, I've been going to the doctor and I've been hearing these terms. I'm like, Doc, come on, man. I don't have that, man. Come on, Doc, chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I want to get into that. Let's talk about so A1C, diabetes.
Yeah.
That's one major thing that attacks our community. What are some things to prevent diabetes if you're not genetically predisposed to it?
Even if you're genetically predisposed, right? So first and foremost is going to be the foods that you put into your body.
Okay.
So we already know the country doesn't have the healthiest foods.
Correct.
So the more fresh the food that you can get, meaning it's not in a package in a box and with a whole bunch of stuff added to it, that's already going to put you a few notches above eating something that's like has a ton of sugar, has a ton of salt, has a ton of additives.
Yeah.
Right, because that's going to be the best for your body.
Right.
Also, we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying?
You think
if you have to say like how many fruits and vegetables do you normally have a day?
Me?
You.
That's all I eat. It's
That's
fruit.
all you eat?
But I don't eat fruit though.
Okay.
Because of sugar.
Got you.
So I'm saying, so that's another thing I was going to ask. So, because I stopped eating fruit because, other than watermelon, because of the sugar, the natural sugar in it. And some people don't realize they have like high, what is that? Yeah, diabetes, right? They have high sugar because of
High glucose.
they might be eating a lot of fruits that have natural sugar.
Yeah, so you definitely got to look at your carb, like your overall carb consumption. And so you got to look at that. And sometimes it's not the fruit itself, but it's how much you're eating, like you're saying, right? It's the portion control.
Right.
And then it's what do you have it with. So when you're talking about like your blood sugar levels, it's impacted by how much sugar you have and then what you have that sugar with. So if you have it with something that's higher in fiber, if you have it with a healthy fat or a protein, that slows down how quickly it's digested in your body. And so with diabetes and even pre-diabetes, you're trying to prevent that spike and drop in your blood sugar all day. And so if you have more fiber from the fruits and vegetables and whole grains, if you have a smaller amount of carbs with your meal, or if you have it with proteins and healthy fats, you're preventing those spikes and those drops all day.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, now you're learning me.
I'm doing what I can.
You're learning me. So you say fiber like oats and like what?
Yeah, so whole grains. So that's like your wheat, your oats, rice, quinoa. Those are your whole grains.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And then you got your fruits and vegetables. Those are high in fiber. Your nuts and your seeds, beans.
That's all that nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on how you cook it.
I need something with hot sauce on it.
You can throw some hot sauce
ketchup,
on there.
mustard. I need something with gravy on it.
Okay.
No, I'm not like. So now going back to you, getting in this field. So you went to college, right? Ohio, came back.
Well, I went to North Carolina.
North Carolina, Ohio.
North Carolina, Georgia State, Ohio.
Yeah, so much education.
Don't leave my master's
You're right.
out.
I'm sorry.
I worked hard for that.
Sorry. So when you came back to the South, what did you notice that the health of the people are different? I know the eating is different.
Only because I was more aware. I mean,
Okay.
we were still eating the same. Like I said, I grew up in my grandma's house.
Okay.
So we weren't eating even though she was diabetic, we still weren't eating the healthiest. You know what I'm saying? But now I can realize the problems behind what we're eating is really affecting our body.
Yeah.
Because before we just eating, right? We know it tastes good. There's a little bit of vegetable with our meals, so we think we're doing something right.
Right.
But the recommendation is to have at least 5 servings a day. Most people only eating 2. So you're only getting half of what you need, and then over time you end up being deficient in a lot of nutrients.
What you think about fasting? Are you an advocate for fasting?
I think it has some benefits.
Okay.
I don't fast all the time, and then a lot of times people use fasting as a diet type, as
Okay.
opposed. So they're like trying to lose weight. Like,
Right.
okay, the less I eat, You know what I'm saying? And so they're looking at it as, especially with intermittent fasting, you're going this long period of time without eating, but
Correct.
then when you have your eating window, they're binging out
Okay.
and eating as much as they
So
can.
like you equaling out. You kind of equaling out if
exactly.
you
So you
if
still
you
have to do it in a
yeah.
healthy way.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I was having a conversation with some friends, and they was talking about doing a what is that run club, run club, right?
Yeah.
But after the run club,
I already know what you're about to say.
they having they going to brunch and getting.
But listen, do you know the best time to have something indulgent like that?
When?
After you work out.
Really?
Yeah. That's when your body is the most depleted, so it's less likely to store this fat.
But still, though, you getting shrimp and grits, and you eating all this fried chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, but that's.
But listen, so it also depends on how often you're having it. If it's
That's
just
true.
once a week after that run club, you're cool.
That's
That's
true.
the big thing of what I teach my clients, because a lot of times we think it's all or nothing, and you can never have something like that.
Okay.
And so that's the reason why a lot of people end up kind of rebelling against when they're trying to lose weight, because they're trying to cut everything out. And then when they have it, you end up overindulging in it as opposed to just finding ways to continue to put it into your
Yeah.
regular lifestyle.
So, what are some things you see in your clients? Most like consistent things you see in most of your clients. Is it weight loss?
Yeah, most of my clients are trying to lose weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's because of what? A wedding or an event?
No.
Summer?
My people at this point, because most of my clients are 35 and up,
Okay.
their lifestyle. So they've already been gaining and losing the same weight since their 20s. Now they're in high pressure jobs. They're
Yeah,
busy
stress.
moms, have kids. They're very active on the weekends. So they're just trying to find a way, like, how can I manage my health and make it into a lifestyle with my busy schedule?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, what as a dietitian, I want to focus on these foods, right? I know we touched on them a little bit about the fibers and everything, but
Yeah.
I need specifics because the people that are gonna be watching, they're gonna be like, well, I'm trying to change my diet for the summer. I've been eating fried chicken. I've been at brunch. I've been outside. A Sunday fun day. We've been drinking. We've been
Yep.
going hard in the paint. What are, say, a good breakfast? Breakfast, like types of foods to eat.
Yeah, so really important. A lot of times people start their day with a ton of carbs. So even if you're trying to be healthy, people will eat like, oatmeal, then they may put some honey on there, then they throw in the fruit on there, then they drinking some juice. Carb,
Yeah.
right? So like I said before, you want to try to pair that carb with a healthy protein and a fat. So instead of putting all that stuff on the oatmeal, you can do the oats, and then you can do some nuts, so that's adding the healthy fats. And then
Okay.
you're going to add, some kind of protein, whether that's your eggs. Some people like Greek yogurt. I put like an almond protein powder in mine.
Okay.
So just a big scoop of powder, mix that in with my oatmeal, and that gives me my protein.
Is it whey? The whey powder?
No, mine is it's from almonds.
Okay, so it's strictly almonds. Okay.
just
But
almonds.
is whey protein good?
It depends on which one you're getting, because a lot of times they can have additives in it.
Okay.
And then a lot of us also have issues with dairy, and whey is a dairy component.
Okay.
Right. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
depends on the person.
Because I thought you could drink whey with water, right? Or it's with milk.
Yeah, you can drink it with water, but
does-
whey is from the milk.
Yeah.
Like it's a milk component.
Makes sense. So now we got breakfast out the way. What about lunch?
Lunch, protein, healthy carb, vegetable. So
Okay.
an example of that could be, chicken, ground turkey, fish. Your carb could be, your brown rice. It could be
Okay.
quinoa. It could be sweet potatoes. It could be beans. And then whatever your vegetable is.
Sweet potatoes. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate. I just started eating sweet potatoes, and I eat them all the time.
You make sweet potato fries?
No, I
Baked?
bake them, and I just put. I'm from Louisiana, so I gotta put Louisiana crab oil on it, season.
On your potato?
Yeah, I gotta have a little spice on it.
Okay,
you
I
know
may
what I'm
need to try that.
saying? So it's spicy sweet potato, but it's not a lot. It's just for flavor.
Oh man, I would have never thought about that.
It's a little bit, not
Nah,
because it's gonna
I
be too hot.
slice mine up and I bake them and make them into fries.
Fries, yeah. Put them in the oven.
So,
I'm in the oven with
throw some
the
ketchup on there.
air fryer.
I had some today.
Okay,
You
yeah.
put them in the air fryer too.
Oh, yeah, because is that the air fryer is cool. You can cook in an air fryer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's healthy. All right, so we got breakfast and lunch out the way. Dinner.
So dinner, I normally recommend it to be your smallest meal, and so for a lot of my clients, we want it to be like your low carb meal. So we
Okay.
do your protein, saute some vegetables, so you have like your healthy fat and then your vegetables. So protein, healthy fat, vegetables.
Okay, so that's what. Now, are these big portions or are these small portions? Because we in the South. Because in the South, our portions are like a plate.
They crazy, right?
And if you go somewhere else, like you say, go to the West Coast, their portions are like literally like a little ounce, 3 ounce.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all gonna eat that? That's it?
Right. So an easy way is like if you can use your hands. So your protein should be about the size of your palm.
Okay.
For most people, that's about 4 ounces or so. Now, for men, y'all can go a little bit, larger. You can do like your whole hand. Your carb should be about the size of your fist. Like you said, down in the South, we got 2, maybe 3 fists of rice and potatoes on that plate, and then it's like a little bit of
They
vegetable
got
if there's
3
any.
fists, 2 feet, everything else in there.
So you want your protein, your carb,
Okay.
and then if you think about your plate, divide your plate into fourths.
Yeah.
A fourth of your plate should be your protein. A fourth of your plate should be your carbs, and then the other half should be vegetables.
Okay. So it's
So that's the easy way to just kind of look at your plate and be like, okay, do I have enough vegetables on here?
carbs, protein,
veggies.
veggies. Okay, that's dope. Now let me. I want to talk to you about the demon. The demon that everybody loves.
Sugar.
Sugar.
I knew you about to say that.
Sugar, because you gotta have some sweet potato pie. You gotta have a cheesecake. You gotta have that. You gotta have it.
Okay,
Ice cream. You gotta have it on that brownie. You gotta have a chocolate chip cookie. You know what I'm saying?
I own a chocolate chip cookie business,
See?
so and I'm a chocolate connoisseur.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even though a person that don't even eat sweets, like I'm not a big sweet fan, but if it looks like edible, I'm gonna get it. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna eat the whole thing. Like, for instance, I'm not even a big fan. I don't go to the store and buy this, but if I see a brownie that's nuked, that's hot, with some vanilla ice cream on it, I gotta eat it. Like, it's
Now,
just.
what store you going to where they just serving brownie sundaes?
Well, no, you gotta go to the restaurant to get it.
Oh, okay. I'm like, we just walk around the store. That's my favorite dessert. I'm like, where do I need to go?
Yeah, but I'm like, you have to eat it. It's like you can't. It's irresistible. Like, you gotta get it. How do you prevent? Not just that, but candy.
How do you prevent what?
The
You
Starbucks.
talking about the discipline it takes
The sugar.
to avoid that stuff?
Yeah, you can't. It's hard. I'm not gonna say you can't, but it's hard to just eliminate sugar out your diet. You know what I'm saying? Even though sugar is like crack.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's hard to eliminate it. So how can you, I guess, be disciplined enough to have it once a week?
Yeah, so I mean, sugar is like a vacation. It's like a splurge, right? So just like you wouldn't splurge all the time with your money,
I would.
but then you
Nah,
can't pay.
nah.
But I'm just saying, if you splurge all the time, you can't pay your bills.
Right. It's
Like
a
you on
song.
vacation, but you come home and your lights off.
Look,
you
it's
know what I'm saying? You don't have no food in the fridge.
You know, it's a song. You know, the young boys say, spend a check and get it right back.
That's you.
Nah, nah, but okay. So it's like
Yeah, so you gotta think about it like it's a vacation. It's a every now and then thing.
Okay.
So when you look at your everyday meals, the recommendation is no more than 24 grams of sugar, of added sugar for women, 36 for men.
Now, what
And
is
that's
that?
not that much.
Okay.
So every teaspoon is 4 grams. So that means 6 teaspoons for women, 9 teaspoons for men. So when you look on the nutrition label, you look for where it says added sugar, and you'll be able to see the grams in that package.
That's per day or
That's
for a
per
week?
day. That's per day.
Okay, that ain't bad.
Yeah, you get
It's not bad.
24.
Because in Starbucks they have what, about 10? No, they have about 36 grams of sugar,
I'm
right?
about to say, yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be more than what you need for the whole day in that cup.
And you said 6 grams for women, 9.
6 teaspoons, which is 24 grams for women,
Okay.
and then 9 teaspoons or 36 grams for men.
For men.
And if you want to think about what that looks like a can of Coke, that's already 40 grams for the day.
Wow.
That Starbucks drink you talking about, 64 grams.
Wow.
Yeah, that like a Gatorade, that's somewhere around 40 to 60.
Really? What about the zero?
Well, I mean, if it's zero, then
Zero
they have like
calories.
the sugar replacements or whatever.
Yeah.
So every day you're trying to limit your sugar to that, and then once a week, ball out, swipe that card, whatever you got to do,
But
and enjoy it.
You
But
know,
it can't be
that's-
an everyday thing.
Yeah, no, that's just a hard thing, especially if you're on a diet.
You're not on a diet though. This is a lifestyle.
Well, some people. So
You're not on a diet.
that makes sense. I like that. It is a lifestyle. You got to change it 100%.
You got to change the mindset around it.
But some people say the word "die" is in diet.
And you feel like you're dying when you.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you are dying to a certain part of yourself, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Weight gain or some type of
Yeah. So
illness.
that's the part you're killing off.
Yeah, that's true. It is a
So you
lifestyle
gotta,
change.
Again, just adjust your mindset around that.
So another elephant in the room that I want to talk about that a lot of people really don't think it adds weight on you, and they do it all the time.
What?
Drinking.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Drinking, right? So even if you have a simple glass of wine, how much sugar is in that glass of wine?
Well, I mean, the wine itself doesn't have any added sugar, right?
Right. It's
But
just,
it is from the fruit and it's concentrated. So there is a sugar from that fruit. I don't know how many grams it is.
Yeah.
But the thing about alcohol, because a lot of people are trying to lose weight, and alcohol just in and of itself is a toxin for your body.
Okay.
And so whenever your body is trying to burn off alcohol, it's not burning off other things. So if you're trying to lose fat, you're not going to be able to burn off the sugar or the fat because your body's trying to burn that alcohol.
Okay.
So you want to still watch that consumption.
Okay. Because I'm a tequila connoisseur.
Okay.
But so this is not an excuse. Now this is just for tequila. I only drink tequila that has no additives.
Mm-hmm.
So most well. Now this is me making an excuse.
Yeah.
But I know tequila 100% agave is agave. Agave is a natural substance, right? So they don't make tequila with sugar.
No.
And then they
And
do
unless
have
you get and
right.
Yeah.
But and then they have margaritas. They have tequila that they have additives that make it sweeter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't participate in those type of tequilas. Mine is it's a clean tequila.
Okay.
Now if I have
But then it's like the quantity though.
I was
Like
about to
how
say-
much we drinking?
I was say if I had my 4 or 5 shots, damn it. But I want to, because the thing is, a lot of women they drink these what they call skinny cocktails, right? They
It's
low,
with the sugar additives.
yeah, they low carb vodka or low carb gin or whatever,
Right.
or low carb wine. Is that a good thing? Or how many times a week, or when how a person should drink?
Yeah. So the recommendation is for women like 1 glass or less a day, and then for men it's 2, right? But you got to think about like your overall calories.
Okay.
Whenever you doing too much of anything, it turns into fat, including alcohol. And the more excess fat you're carrying, you're gonna have more problems with your blood sugar.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Right. So you still want to control that alcohol intake because you're trying to control your fat and your fat, excess fat that's being stored. So then you're then controlling your blood sugar levels and then preventing diabetes.
What's a consistent way to burn fat?
Consistent. Monitor your plate.
Eating. Just
Yeah,
eating.
Eating is the biggest part of it.
Really?
You're doing that every single day.
So that's more important than working out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Most people are not losing weight from their exercise. You're losing weight from your food. The exercise is controlling the way that you look as you're losing weight, right? Because we're trying to maintain our muscle, or you may be trying to build muscle,
Right.
et cetera. You may be trying to hit a little bit of extra belly fat, but it's not going to be a majority of your weight loss.
Wow. Okay. So eating.
Yeah.
So
It
back
always
away
comes-
from that
It
plate.
comes back to nutrition always.
So another thing I heard. Now you could correct me. The times that you eat, because some people's clock is not the same as some. It's like some people have breakfast, but others don't. Or some
Yeah.
people eat late, but others don't. I was reading something. They said it takes so many hours for the food to digest. So if you eat late at night, the food hasn't digested yet. So when you wake up and get breakfast again, the food is still trying to digest what you had the
No,
night
it's
before.
not still trying to digest. It don't take that long.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know what you're saying. So the thing about it normally takes about 2 to 3 hours for your body to digest a meal, right? And so the thing is, when you have it late, your metabolism has slowed down because now you're in bed, and so it may take a little bit longer. It's not gonna take 6 hours, but now you start having sleep problems because your body has that. You have that food inside, and your
Yeah.
body's trying to do that, so you're not gonna be as rested. So then you wake up and you're more tired, and that's also an easy way to gain belly fat. So a lot of people are sleep deprived. That's another way to have sugar cravings because now your hormones are out of whack, which causes more belly fat. It causes your stress level hormones to increase.
Okay.
It makes you hungrier, and it makes you, gain more belly fat.
Wow. So that's, you don't encourage eating late. And
Well, the thing is what you eat and how much you're eating. So like I was saying, like having that protein and the healthy fat and the vegetables, that's not like, it shouldn't be a large portion. It's a smaller meal. You have that about a couple hours before you go to bed, and then you should be able to be well rested.
Okay. So 9 o'clock.
Uh-oh. What time you going to bed?
You're probably about 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So
And see, a lot of times when people are eating late, is also what you're choosing to eat. Right, because you may had your dinner and now you're snacking. You know what I'm saying? So
Chips and stuff.
it's just a lot of calories that your body's not gonna be burning off because you're not as active.
Yeah,
You're
that's
sitting
true.
at home.
What is your biggest thing that you like when you see something and you give a person a plan and they don't stick to the plan, and everything that you told them to do, they don't do it. But they come to you and say, well, it's not working. Like
You're not working.
I'm saying,
How about that?
I'm saying how, especially you have a client, because you know when you
Yeah.
being a personal trainer, you see it all the time. It's like you say, like he's like you see someone that's I've been doing this for 6 months.
No, you haven't. You haven't been doing it. You have not been doing it for 6 months. People know what they do and they don't do.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not going to take 6 months for us to realize that you have not been following the plan.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So with my clients, we do your inches and your body fat percentage every month.
Oh,
so we checking
okay.
in, we setting goals, we're monitoring your progress. If you haven't made progress, is at that point we're talking about what are you doing and what haven't you been doing, right? So that's the accountability piece.
Got you.
And at that point, we have the conversation. Now, I have had to let some clients go that aren't able, because sometimes it's just not the right chapter for that goal.
Right.
And if you're not able to commit, we need to reestablish what your goal is. And if we can't get to that point, we may just need to revisit training at a different time.
Right. Or just cut them short. Be like, he got to go.
Know? I know I could just continue taking people's money, but my job is to get you to the goal.
So this is your passion.
Yeah.
You love it.
I told you, I've been into this since high school. So it's like, what are we doing? We're going to do this or we're not going to do it.
That's good. You know, we need more people like you versus getting a paycheck. Because I done seen some, you know what's funny? I done seen some personal trainers that got guts. And it's like a doctor.
I've seen them.
It's like having a doctor that's an unhealthy doctor. It's like, why should I go to them? You know what I'm saying? It's like a personal trainer that's not fit.
Yeah.
It's like, why should I go to you?
So let me ask you, so do you think that, people are also related to like sports coaches, right? They're like, well, you never got a championship, so how you going to tell me how to get a championship?
That's true. That's true.
But they can still get them to the championship,
I don't
right?
know. But it's different.
Because it's about the knowledge.
It depends on the sport. Because most sports are team sports. So it's not one individual. If you got
That's
one
true.
individual, it's different. But like a track or what is that? Golf, tennis, that's different. That's individual. But if it's a team sport, that's different. You have so many other dynamics. For instance, like a Nick Saban. You know Nick Saban, right? Football coach.
Nah.
Well, Nick Saban won he's the most winning is college football coach.
Okay.
One thing he said that it wasn't him who won a championship. Of course, it was the players, but he always hired his assistant coaches that was smarter than him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say so many other dynamics when you talk about that. Now,
I agree.
as an individual, that's different. If you was a tennis player and you never won a Grand Slam or Grand Open or a championship or nothing, and you telling me how to get there,
how you gonna tell me?
you can't tell me.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that point.
I'm just saying, that's just
but
me.
yeah, but no, for me, I would want to have someone who is embodying the lifestyle that I'm trying to aspire to. And again, like you're saying, if you can't develop that discipline for yourself, I don't feel like you can help me to become disciplined with whatever that area
100%.
is. And to be honest with you, a lot of trainers struggle with nutrition because a lot of trainers are like athletes, so they're into the workout part of it. But
Right.
the nutrition is a whole different thing.
That's hard. It's not hard. You know what? So it's like you said, it's a lifestyle change. So I've been fasting for a year. Well, not straight across. I'm saying.
I mean, you wouldn't be here if you were.
Yeah, no. Right. I'd be blank out of it. So no, I'm saying I decided to say. I said, well, it was during the pandemic. Of course, we was at home. I said, you know what? I'm going to eat only between a certain window, right, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day. That's it. No breakfast, no late. Just that in that period. But I'm not binging though. I'm eating one meal. So I said, I did the first week, second week, third week. I was like, this ain't nothing. And my body got used to it, and this is what I do. So I'm not, my mind is not used to eating. Or if somebody goes to breakfast, I'm like, I come over there, but I ain't,
You're not gonna eat, right?
But I don't have the craving to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
That's the cool thing about your body. Like, you get to train it for what you want it to expect.
Right. That's why you say it's a lifestyle thing. But the discipline is starting it. It's like working out. You just got to start.
And the thing is, a lot of people start too extreme. Now, you started extreme, but it worked for you. But a lot of times people start extreme, and they may do it for like 2-3 weeks. They fall off, and then after 6 months, they try to revisit that goal, right?
Yeah.
And they try to start extreme again. I'm going to work out 5 days a week, meal prep on my food. So I always recommend, like, start with some small, manageable changes that you can commit to for, like, at least a month. Right at that month, kind of see how you're doing. What are you being consistent with?
Yeah.
Now you can start to, add some more changes in there that you can stick to and keep going like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a goal. I had to do it per hour.
What you mean?
Like I had to set the goal per hour. I couldn't do it because I couldn't see that far ahead. I couldn't say, well, I'm gonna do this for 3 days. Cause
Okay.
prior,
So you said I'm a fast for
so I
one
said
hour.
I'm just going. Yeah, I'm gonna fast for 2 hours. So I'm gonna fast for
Okay.
5 hours. I'm gonna fast until 12 o'clock,
Gotcha.
and then the whole day went. Cause all right, so backstory: before I started doing the intermediate fasting, I did a 7-day fast with nothing but water.
Okay.
I just wanted to do it for spiritual purposes, right?
Uh
I
huh.
just wanted to see, what my body
Yeah.
does, the waste and all that stuff. Then I started doing that. Uh, but it did take a lot of discipline, and it was like piece by piece by piece, and then by day 3,
Mhm.
okay, I could get to day 4,
Yeah.
day 5, day 6. All right, I could go next week. Like
Right.
those small, the
Exactly.
small steps. So, yeah, I agree 100%. So what's your goal? What's your goal for this year?
My goal for this year. Get
As a physical personal trainer, as a dietitian, as a person of health and
well, I'm working on a
wellness.
restaurant.
Oh, really?
So my goal is to get this restaurant going. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm working on a healthy drive-through restaurant.
Okay.
It's called the Fresh Fix, FIX.
Okay.
And so it's for us, the busy professionals who may not have the time to cook. You still want to eat healthy. You want your
Mm.
food to have flavor. You want your food to be hot. And I can't think of a place where I can grab like a hot, healthy meal. Even up until 8, 9 o'clock at night, where I can just pick an entree, a couple sides, and be able to keep moving about my day without having to go into the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on.
That's dope. That's dope. Put that in the Montrose area, or you'll win. Or you'll win big time.
You got your request.
Oh, he put you. Look, I'm
I
telling
mean,
you.
I'm still doing my market research to see the best areas, but
So
it will most likely start off as a ghost kitchen.
okay.
That means like when you go on DoorDash and it's a place that doesn't have an actual physical location,
Yeah.
but you get to get it delivered, and that way I can test out the menu, test out some different items, continue to grow the customer base, and then from there, the goal is within the next year to open up the storefront.
It's gonna happen.
It will happen.
Don't
This is
put
God given.
don't put it in third ward though, because them
We
Negroes.
coming eventually, but that won't be the. It may not be the first location.
Because them Negroes ain't eating healthy.
But we need to, right?
They
We
want
talk,
the
we
food
talk, we
trucks. That's
talk
what they
about
want.
food deserts all the time,
Yeah.
and
That is true.
people got to have access.
That's true. I was having a debate with someone not too long ago about having a fresh market food store in the hood.
Yeah, you gonna open it up?
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Why, they waiting on you.
Nah, because we need that. It's like especially a lot of older black people, like they always had natural ingredients.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they picked it from the garden, stuff like that. We don't even. They have a place. They have a place off Airport Road. That's the only place I know. I'm pretty sure they have more, but that's the only place
Like,
that I
like
know.
the farmers markets.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you can
they have 'em
actually
around the city.
go out there in the garden and pick it out yourself.
Oh, gotcha. No, I haven't been to that.
Yeah, they have one off Airport Road, like headed towards Pearland, but they need more places like that
Yeah.
within cities
I
where.
know the Acres Home Community Center. They now have where farmers will bring fresh produce in there.
Okay,
Maybe once a month. I'm not sure how often it is, but that's something that they have on a more regular basis.
that'd be dope. Cause I got a watermelon the other day off the side of the road from a guy who had something that came out of his patch. That's dope.
How was it?
It was good, sweet.
Okay.
I was eating it before I came in.
But then bring none. Okay.
My bad.
I like watermelon too.
My bad. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to feed into the stereotype. Black people like watermelon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Watermelon chicken and
Okay.
shit.
Gotcha.
And beer. Yeah. Okay, cool, Joy. I appreciate you coming up here. How can the people find you? If they need you, if they want you, if you need them to get in contact with you, how can they?
So you can find me.
I don't know why I couldn't get that out.
No, you good. So my company is Dig Deep Fitness. That's DIGG with Dig with 2 G's Fitness. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under Dig Deep Fitness.
Dig Deep
And
Fitness.
then you can on my Instagram, you'll be able to get to the link for more information about my upcoming restaurant.
Okay.
The Fresh Fix. You can either donate or you can take my market research survey because I want to know, what do the people want? What's missing? What do you want on the menu, right? And so I'm using all that information to make sure putting out something out to the market that we're all going to love and crave.
That's dope.
And want to continue coming back to.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm gonna tell you what I love. I love mushroom burgers, but on
The
whole
portobello?
wheat. Yeah,
Okay,
but on whole
something
wheat
like that.
though. So it's a vegan burger.
Yeah.
Because it was. You ever had the black bean burger?
Mm-hmm.
But they be so salty.
Sometimes they fall apart too.
Yeah, that's what I like though. That's how I know it's
You want it to fall
organic.
apart?
Yeah, because if it stand together like that, That means it has something that's
I mean,
causing it to stay together.
You can
like
use
breadcrumbs or something.
But you can make breadcrumbs out of like oats. It's not bread, but you can like grind the oats up and add that in with your mashed black beans. So there's different ways you can do it to make it not fall apart.
Yeah, some of
and
that
still
stuff be
be
too
whole.
salty too.
Yeah, that's the person who's seasoning it though.
Yeah, like I guess for
But you black. I thought you like salt.
nah.
I'm messing with
See
you.
how you do that? See what I'm saying? See, I gotta get out of here.
He put his what was that, crab boil on your
That's
your
right.
sweet potato?
Little crab ball on there. So guys, look, we gotta get out of here. As you where your gym at? Where you be
Yeah,
training?
so I train out of Facet 7 Fitness. Is in the Heights office. It's up the street off of TC Justin 11.
Yeah, people need to know that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say that.
y'all. And also, so y'all offer in-person training,
See?
offer online coaching, so we can coach through Zoom. I have online workout programs and nutrition plans. So all that information can be on my website at digdeepfit.com.
Digdeepfit.com. I'm coming over there
Let's go.
one day.
I mean, you can come tomorrow.
No, I ain't coming tomorrow. No, I gotta work tomorrow.
You up the street, all right?
Yeah, I gotta
We'll work it
tomorrow.
out.
Yeah, we're gonna get over there. But guys, look, make sure you hit Joy up on Dig Deep Fit. Guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, again, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. Make sure you do something that counts. What am I forgetting? My sponsors, 605 Adult Beverages. Much love to you guys. Also, Ed Sports Counseling. We represent all the counseling, all the therapy because we know we need it as a people. And not just mental, but physical.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's important. So, Joy, I appreciate you coming up here.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
And when you open this store, I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
grand opening day.
I'm coming. And I'm going to shout it out. I'm going to shoot a live podcast from over there.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
that.
saying? I'm going to do a taste tester. I met a taste tester last night. This girl, she goes around the city and just,
Really?
yeah. So I'm going to bring her over there and we're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need her for my focus group.
Yeah, there you go. See, I got you. I got you off the camera. But yeah, guys, we got to get out of here, guys. Look, this is your boy, Black Adam. Remember, my name changed. I'm not DJ KO, no, I'm Black Adam. Much love to you guys, man. You know I love you guys. You can't do nothing about it. Peace.